We are continuing to focus on Pink Shirt Day. That is today. And I have two more great guests joining me now to talk about some pretty important stuff. One is Miranda Ruddy, who is the Out in Schools Program Director. Miranda, thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Great to have you. We also have Shreya Gupta, who is an 11-year-old award-winning author, having written the children's book called Flamingo Feet. Shreya, thanks so much for being here as well.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's not many of us that can say by age 11 we have become award-winning authors, so congratulations on that. Tell me about Flamingo Feet and how you came up with the idea.
So Flamingo Feet is about a young girl named Aria, and her dream is to jazz dance. So she enters a jazz competition, and she's really excited, but then some bullies come, and they call her Flamingo Feet because when she dances, she has stage fright, so she falls. So they say that she can't dance well and that she has flamingo feet. So then Aria ends up dropping out of the dance competition, and the rest of the book is about her gaining confidence and learning to always chase her dreams no matter what people say about her.
Wow, that's an amazing story. And did you come up with that, or did you see people being bullied or see things happening that you wanted to write about it and raise awareness?
Well, I knew that lots of people got bullied, and I've even been bullied before, so I knew what it felt like, and I knew that it wasn't a nice feeling to be bullied, so I wanted to raise awareness about it out there and help kids all around the world stand up to bullying.
Amazing. And we'll talk more about some of the proceeds from the book and where they are going this month as well. Miranda, wanted to talk to you about Out in Schools. This is a program, from what I understand, it uses a lot of film and video to get group discussions going. What's the focus of the program?
Yeah, so we are a Vancouver-based program that, as you mentioned, uses films as a way to start dialogue around queerness and transness and two-spirit identities. In a non-COVID time, we would be traveling around the province, visiting schools and youth as young as grade 4 and up to educators and adults to start conversations, talking about, all sorts of things: identity, allyship, how to show up for one another, queer representation, the whole 9 yards, really.
And must be, like you said, non-COVID times, you'd be going out and being in the schools. Is it a challenge trying to do this and reach as many people, finding other ways, COVID-safe ways of doing that?
It's actually been really nice to be able to pivot and to be able to connect with people digitally. So during these times, we've been moving to a Zoom-based platform, and it's been really great. It took a little bit of homework on our end as people who are, having to focus a little bit more on, how do I use the internet and how do I use Zoom? But it's been really fun to be able to connect with people with a lot more ease, because it's much more easy for us to tap into a school up north versus having us have to travel. So it's actually not been too bad.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but you're right. If you take the travel out of it and you're able to reach people through different ways of online ways, that's great.
Yeah, it's been a really good time.
Shreya, I want to go back to you and talk a bit more about your book. So what I understand that proceeds from the sale of your book this month are helping a particular campaign, which is great. What was it like, though, getting the book published and going and getting it so that people can buy it?
It was a pretty amazing experience, seeing my book come to life and seeing those pages. It was really amazing, and seeing people buying it, helping lots of kids. It was really amazing. And yeah, all of the proceeds from my book in this month are going to Pink Shirt Day, which is an amazing organization that helps stand up to anti-bullying. So it's really great. They really stand up to bullies. But yeah, it was a pretty amazing experience publishing my book and seeing people buy it and helping all of these kids.
Oh, yeah. And if I'm looking at the date right, so did it come out in July?
Yes, correct.
So you did all of this as well during the pandemic?
Yes, I wrote it during the pandemic, so it was a pretty interesting experience.
Yeah, I would imagine. Did you just sit down and start writing it, or what was that like?
So I knew I wanted to write a book about anti-bullying, so we came up with the idea, and then I just took in computer and started writing, and then we just went through the publishing process, and it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, to say the least, for sure. Want to go back. We've just got a few minutes left to talk a bit more about this. Miranda, how do people get involved? Or if people have heard this, I mean, it's great that your program Out in Schools has already reached so many people. But unfortunately, there's still going to be a lot of students and people in the school system who maybe don't know about this or would really benefit from this because they're going through a really difficult time. How do they get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they're free to visit us on our website. If you Google Out in Schools, will be the first thing that pops up. And you can connect with us either to book a presentation if you're an educator or a teacher wanting to figure out how you can start these conversations in your classrooms. But we also do stuff on our Instagram and post and repost a lot of opportunities for folks to be connected with community, especially for queer, trans, and two-spirit young people. During COVID times, I think there is an extra element of feeling a little bit more alone, which is entirely untrue because there's an entire community out there, especially with the digital realm, for us to tap into and to stay connected during these times.
All right. And just before we wrap up for the day, Shreya, do you have any plans to write another book or perhaps a sequel to Flamingo Feet?
So in the future, I'm possibly planning to do a book series about anti-bullying. Now, Aria, the main character from Flamingo Feet, wouldn't be in all of them. It would be more separate books, but they would all be about anti-bullying because it's a pretty important topic. So I want to raise as much awareness as I can about it. So I will possibly be doing a book series.
Wow, that's amazing. And you have enough time to do that?
I think so. So with the pandemic, I think it would be an amazing thing to do.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would agree with you. I just wanted to touch back, Shreya. You mentioned that you've seen people being bullied, that you yourself had been bullied in the past. I mean, that's got to be awful. And have things gotten better?
So things have gotten better, yes. But then with the pandemic, like not specifically to me, but I know lots of people are getting cyberbullied. So bullying always finds a way to happen, but you just have to stand up to it and learn to always have confidence no matter what people say. But with me, yes, the bullying has gotten better. But yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. Miranda, what goes through your mind when you hear that?
A lot of things. First of all, congratulations on your book. It's amazing that you've been able to take something that can be seen as a negative and turn around into something really positive. I'm sure not only for yourself, but for other people. And, bullying, I think, and opportunities like Pink Shirt Day is a really good time for us to sit and reflect about bullying as a whole and how oftentimes, you're absolutely right, it does play out in so many different ways, whether it's in person or online. And oftentimes bullying is part of a much bigger problem that as educators and as an adult in a space, I think it's really important for us to think about how do we want to shift our spaces in order for them to become not only tolerant, but more inclusive.
All right. Well, thanks so much to both of you for joining the show today. Both of you, so inspiring. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And Shreya, I'm going to be looking out for that book series. Can't wait to read all of the books. That is 11-year-old Shreya Gupta, who has written the book Flamingo Feet. She's got plans for more books. This is a book that centers around the theme of anti-bullying. And Miranda Ruddy, the program director with Out in Schools. Again, thanks to both of you so much.